Hi, so in the last video we saw how to install the SpyderC2 framework in your environment. In this video we'll try to see how to use this Spider C2 framework. So if in the last video, if you remember, we need to execute this command to start the SpyderC2 framework. So once we have this, the framework first gives you the various steps you can follow to be able to successfully infect a victim and run various modules on it. So we'll do all of these steps in a bit. So these are the various commands that you can run in the main menu. So we have HTTP, which if we run, it will start try to run a HTTP listener, which we need to start if we want the victim to connect back to us. It is asking for which port we want to run this HTTP listener on. We'll just go with 8080. So it's saying that it has started the listener. If we want to check if the listener is running or not, we just run the command listeners, and it's saying that the listener is running. Now after we have started a listener, we also have the option to kill all the listeners with this kill listeners command. So we need to now generate the initial stager or the payload, which we will transfer to the victim, which the victim will click on. So to generate that payload, we need to write generate, and now it's asking for the operating system of the victim. For now, let's go with Windows. It's asking for the listener IP. So this is the IP address where the victim will connect back to. So it will be the IP address of this Kali machine, which is 192.168.1.6. It's also asking for the listener port, since our listener is running on 8080, and so we'll be going with that port. So it's generating the stager. You might need to wait for some time. So this stager generation is being done in a Docker environment. So one thing to note here is that if you are using the Docker based installation, you won't get the automatic stager generation for Windows and Linux. For Android you will get it. So let me just show you the same step. If you run it on Docker, what you will get. So the generate command for Windows and Linux, if we run it on Docker, let's see what happens. So as you can see that it's giving us the instruction to generate the stager on the uh, host itself, like the host Kali machine, because the stager generation for Windows and Linux, that works in a Docker environment. So it will be a Docker in a Docker situation, which I did not want to go into. So you just need to copy this command, and it's saying that please run the following command in the SpyderC2 data shared temp folder. So right now we are in the SpyderC2 folder. We need to go in the data shared temp, and in here you need to just copy paste this command. And it will start creating the stager for you. So this is one thing you need to manually do if you are running in the Docker environment. So now that the stager has been generated, so we can see that it has been generated in SpyderC2 data shared temp dist Windows. So if we go to that directory, SpyderC2 data shared temp dist Windows. So since this stager has been generated for a Windows victim, I'll for this demonstration I'll copy it to my host machine and paste it to any folder. So after it's been pasted, right now the victim needs to be double clicking on it and executing it. So let's just do that. And as you can see, like, there is no window or anything popping up, so the victim might not even like understand that something has happened. So if we go back to our SpyderC2 server, and if we run the command victims, we'll see that we have a new victim, and it's alive and running. So to interact with this victim, we need to copy its ID. You can actually just write the first few characters of its ID, and that would work too. So now we are in the victim help menu, and these are the commands that we can run in this menu. So if we want to run info, we can see the various information about the victim, like the platform is Windows, it's running on Windows 10. There is no admin privileges right now, where the stager is being executed from, the last scene of the victim, uh, and yeah, and stuff like that. Then we have the modules option. So so these are the various modules you can run on the victim, uh, and the various languages that you have support for. So some of the modules have both PowerShell and Python 3 based module. Some, like this one, only has Python 3. Uh, let's actually try to run a module. So to run a module, you just need to write use, then the module name. So it's asking now which language you want to run the module in. So we have the option of PowerShell and Python. So one thing to note is that in Windows 10 operating system, running PowerShell scripts by default is disabled. So if you choose the PowerShell and the victim has the PowerShell scripting execution disabled, so they might not work. So let's just go with the Python for now. So after we have selected Python, now we have the uh, we are in the module selection menu, module configuration menu, and in module configuration we can have various parameters that we can tweak if we want. This module has the path parameter, which lets you select where you want to download the screenshot on your attacker machine. So let's just go with the default right now and not provide that. So this parameter is not required. Uh, and to run it, so simply you just invoke the run command, and if we go back to the logs, we can see that it has issued the task, and we also have got back our screenshot. So it's been dumped at this folder. So if we go back to our victim data, this new folder has been created. So we can see that we got a screenshot back from the victim. Since the victim is my host OS, and this Kali Linux is running on that host OS, we got back the screenshot of our machine only. So this is basically how you can run a module on it. We'll cover all of these modules in detail in the next video actually. So stay tuned for that. So what other commands you can run? So if we go back and click help, we'll see the commands. So if we once again see all the victims that is running and try to interact with them, let's try to see what are the commands we had. Yes, so we also had the tasks command, which will let you see all the tasks that has been issued. So I had a lot of tasks issued previously, so, and you can also see if the task has been issued to the victim or not, and what's the output of the task. You can also kill the victim by just running the kill command. So it would uh, kill the connection between the attacker and the victim. So yeah, that's how you can use the SpyderC2 framework. I would really appreciate if you could try this framework out and visit my repository and star and fork the repo. It would be highly appreciated. In the next video, I'll try to go over the rest of the modules that have been supported in this framework. So yeah, thank you for watching.